Well, hello there, buddies. We are at War 5 against Jedi Assassins. Pretty big opponents. It's a bit of a must-win for us because we've been in a real rut. We're going with Absorbing Man today, the tank that is Cassie, and I wasn't sure whether to take a synergy for Cassie, or I decided in the end to just go for Abomination Immortal, just for Absman synergy to keep him poison immune so that I can do my first fight nice and safe and extra quick without dancing around, which we'll come to shortly. We're going to do path 9 all the way today except for that spot. Hump's going to take that one. And then we're going for Mojo on one of the shared islands. And finally we're going for Chavez boss. Being brave today and stepping up to the plate. So first up we've got Terrax here. The initial plan was I was going to have Jabari for the spot fight. It wasn't necessary. I decided to go for, as I previously said, synergy instead, as I no longer needed jabs. And it's just going to mean I don't have to dance around the poison phase when it comes up, if we even get to that. And Absman can just nuke the fight. I'm not the greatest user of him. I'm not overly experienced, as you know. I don't use him a ton. But yeah, it was no contest that he was going to be the best guy for this node. He was banned a lot last season, but with this tactic and the amount of champs that are already banned, he's just easy access. So we're going to start with Power Start 1, so that I can get to my SP2 nice and quickly and refine my form, and just make a real quick thing of the fight. Spent ages prepping for it and reading nodes and stuff, and we're finally in to go. I wasn't going to mess around with trying light intercepts and stuff like that. It's not really necessary, plus I usually make a mess. And that first special 2 already gets him down below halfway. He's melting and he's gone. Nice and easy to start. I think that was a 24-second fight, so that won't harm our fight time at all. I used slightly smaller boosts on that because it was my only first fight for the evening. The rest is starting day 2 now. For Zemo, I've already gone in to select my pre-fight of Uru form and come back in. Again, slightly smaller boosts because I wasn't going to start my Cassie fights until slightly later in the day. Again, really good fight. Uru form means I'm going to be shock and bleed immune. And I just went with an invuln this time, which is really lucky. I made a couple of slight oversights here. Although I stand by that Abs is best for this fight, I forgot that my immunities would give him loads of furies. But in prepping for the fight beforehand, I added a point in Resonate Mastery to prepare for my Cassie fights afterwards, forgetting that it would place weakness on Zemo, and therefore he'd be cleansing and I'd eventually get rooted, and you'll see me get caught out with that. It's no major deal. Luckily I had invulnerability boost on as well, but I should have just waited to sort my masteries out until afterwards. I decided that I wasn't really going to need Mystic Dispersion for this fight, so I just took it off because it wasn't necessary. And although he's got Power Focus 2, his special one's really easy to bait. He's got tons of furies there, so I just need to be careful not to get caught. Luckily for Indestructible there, otherwise that would have really hurt. Seemingly he used up his furies as well, which is nice, and we can get back to business. I also knew that his cleanse charges weren't going to come back for a little while now as well, so it was safe to just carry on hitting him. Fight's nearly closed out, and despite a couple of errors, really pleased with how it's gone. And that's that. He's done. And now we can get into the thick of it, my final 3 fights. I was pretty nervous today. I've been practicing duels and stuff for all 3 of my fights, obviously leading up to this, and it's a bit more difficult with the duels because there's no tactic, there's no help from withers, and all the outside stuff. So it's a little bit hard to judge. Deep down I knew that they'd be safe, but I was pretty nervous anyway. 40k PI and 108,000 health I also knew was a really good safety net I could feel comfortable in. So whilst nervous, I also knew that I'd have to really spectacularly screw up to die here. That was nearly my first screw up. I'm just glad it broke Spidey's block and Stand Your Ground didn't block everything. He was a little bit stingy with his first special. I was hoping that he'd throw that and I with his special 1 and that I'd be able to just miss the entire thing, but went with the special 2 instead. Again, got a bit lucky with the RNG and AI cooperation there. Could have ended very badly and I could be a little bit bruised at the minute. But it's all good. Standard knob getting punched in the face there. But nice and safe, and we're down with only 10% health lost. Nothing a little potion can't fix, and then we come to the stun immune mojo fight. Out of the 3 practice fights I was preparing for this war, I was actually finding mojo most difficult, just treating a stun immune and playing around with the AI. But yeah, again, I knew that I was going to have the aid of withers and the tactic and everything else, and it was just going to be nice and safe. And this rank 5 ascended Cassie is much tankier than my rank 1 5-star. So yeah, obviously Mojo's stun immune, so I'm going to start with, I didn't want to mess around with dashing back and trying to get an intercept or anything like that, so I just went straight away with baiting a heavy, and the fight just went from there. I think the whole fight and how well it goes often depends on that first interaction with getting the early stings on in the middle of the field, and if he's going to cooperate and throw the special when I want him to or not, which he did, and it just sets me off to a good start. Get the poisons on to pause my stings, and he's a good boy and throws his special one again, which allows me to reply. And yeah, the fight's as good as over. I just need to carry on my routine and stay in rhythm. And we're nice and safe. Deep down I was still pretty nervous, knowing that I've got the boss fight coming up. My previous record wasn't brilliant. I had that death to Quicksilver last season, but it was a no-brainer that I had the strongest Cassie in the group today, so I should just man up, be brave and go for it. So here we are, we've got the Wags pre-fight placed as well, and I had the added bonus of one of my teammates, Meth, had Mr. Fantastic on him as well, so we went with the debuff Siphoner pre-fight as well, which hasn't placed yet. So just going to hurry him up, making sure that I had plenty of time on my invulnerability boost still handing. Now it's on and we can go. I think there was going to be another pre-fight due, but I didn't really need it and I was raring to go, so in I jumped. She wasn't going to get any extra fury or attack boost or whatever because I don't have buffs. I also didn't realise it was in Chavez's kit that withers keep her negative zones and whatever else to a minimum, so that was nice, gave me one less thing to worry about. The fight overall went really well, I was really pleased with it. There was a sticky moment which will be coming up where I did lose my rhythm and had to kind of dance around a bit and improvise a few things. But yeah, I don't think that's anything wrong with that in a big boss fight. That was weird, I didn't really understand that. My first hit of my special one connected and then she blocked the rest and that threw me off, and yeah, I had to kind of force my way back into it. Fortunately it didn't hurt, I'm still at 100% health. As I say it, use up my indestructible by taking a combo, then waste my relic. I can't remember if that was accidental or not, I might have just been trying to buy myself some space. Then I expect her to throw the special one. She kindly obliges me. By this point my stings had all fallen off and I've started again with just a fairly low number on. I think I just really mistimed that heavy there and again got punished. Now I knew this special one was going to push her to special 2, and I knew also that I'd have enough fuel to just make the whole thing miss, so I wasn't too worried about it. I was just careful there because she was gaining a lot more power than I wanted her to. She's taking her time, which was annoying, but on the other hand it gave me more fuel, which meant I could miss. Again, get punched in the face. Whilst it was annoying and a little bit sweaty, yeah, another missed SP1 there. Yeah, annoying and getting a bit sweaty, I knew that I really hadn't lost that much health and this was such a safe fight. I wasn't too worried, I just wanted to make sure I closed it out and didn't make a complete fool of myself. Up to this point though, we were winning on time and this probably didn't do us any favours. I know it's not just a solo effort though. So I finally sort of got back into my rhythm and now I'm just being careful to semi-aggressive but also careful to close the fight off. And there we go, 49k sting burst at the end to finish her off. Just over 3 minutes. Could have done that a lot quicker, but yeah, it wasn't brilliant. But that's fine, I'll take that. I was super relieved, very shaky. I've barely managed to type that out with my trembly thumb. But yeah, no, pleased with that. Looking at the scores just after this, BG3 got a third donut in a row, BG2 rather, sorry. BG3 also got a donut. And we're 3 fights away from another win. So infinitely better war than we've had so far this season. It's certainly the strongest I've been a part of. Hopefully we can see it out and I'll see you soon.